Okay, welcome everyone to the Drupal for Gov webinar series. Today we're going to talk about what to expect next week at Drupal GovCon. Next slide, please. So let's talk about a few things that we're going to cover today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Drupal for Gov, and then we're going to talk about the things you need to know before you show up, how to get to NIH, all the great things that are going to be happening during the conference, the fun stuff we have planned each day for after the full day of sessions, and everything in between, outside and under, that you need to know to maximize what you'll get out of the conference next week. Next slide. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about Drupal for Gov. We are a nonprofit organization that supports and is involved in the open source community. And our goal is to be able to provide those that work in government and those that support government access to things like training, information, and other types of resources. And while we encompass a lot of different open source projects. Most of us have our experience and beginning in the Drupal project, but we do have folks who are involved across all aspects of open source. Next slide. So while we're here to talk about Drupal GovCon, and it's what Drupal for Gov is known for the most because it is our largest event, we do host Drupal GovCon annually. So every summer at the NIH facility in Bethesda is when we host Drupal GovCon. But we also host a government summit at DrupalCon North America every year. We've been doing that now for about 4 years running and expect that to keep going. It's held during, usually on the Monday of the day of summits before the rest of DrupalCon. And we focus on providing support to government folks there as well. We participate when we can in the Drupal Global Training Days and try to align half-day events and training events that we're able to host and try to line them up with the Drupal Global Training Days that the Drupal Association has. And then we have this webinar series, and we try to host these every month, the third Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We record them, and then we make them available in a playlist on our YouTube channel, so that folks who are not local to the DC area are still able to participate in some of the events we're able to offer. Next slide. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Drupal GovCon and the things that you need to keep in mind. So first of all, we make sure that we hope that everybody understands that we have a code of conduct, right? So what does that mean? Basically, we say preschool rules. Keep your hands to yourself. Everybody is there to have a good time and learn some cool stuff. So let's not ruin it for anyone, please. So keep your hands to yourself. Don't say mean things. Share, right? Our standard preschool rules. And if we find that an attendee has broken the code of conduct, they're going to be asked to leave the conference, and they may have their privileges to attend in the future revoked. So if you have any doubts about our code of conduct, you can read our full code of conduct. It's under the community tab on our website. So, and please, if you notice or experience any misconduct or you see any, please come to the help desk registration space and let us know. And we'll have folks who will be there to support you. Next slide. So also I want to mention that Drupal GovCon and all of the associated events that Drupal for Gov hosts is completely volunteer run. So no one gets paid to do this. So we ask that you please be kind, be patient with us, and if you see a way that we can do things better, we would love to have you help us out and volunteer. We're going to have our planning meeting for next year's conference on Friday at 1 o'clock at the conference in room D. You don't have to sign up, just show up, and if you've got ideas on how we can do things better, we would love to hear that. And if you're in a position to provide some support, we'll be happy to talk to you about how you can participate as well. So that's kind of all I have is the introductory stuff. I'm going to turn it over to Nina, who is one of our organizers, who's going to get into all of the details with you.
Hello, everyone. Yes, so our sponsors help make the event happen, but you can help support the event through a personal sponsorship. You can choose to donate directly to our travel fund, which is used to fund travel scholarships, or just donate to the event. So before the event, let's talk about everything you need to know before you hit the conference. Now, we have tons of awesome sessions this year that I'm sure many of you have already checked out, but have you added them to your schedule? When you log into Drupal GovCon and go to the Programs tab, it'll drop down to show schedule. It gives you the options to add and remove specific sessions. So On the right-hand side of your screen, you're going to see session tracks, the days and the times, plus the sessions that are available. So I encourage you all to do your My Schedule and actually fill that out. Now, NIH is a non-tobacco and non-alcohol campus, meaning if you bring a pack of cigarettes, vapes, alcoholic drinks, anything like that, it will be confiscated and you will have to remove it from campus. So just leave it at home or leave it in your hotel room. You're here! Let's talk about the 4-day event. So security. You need to show up at least 30 to 40 minutes before the session you want to attend. Be aware you will have to go through a metal detector and receive an NIH badge before coming onto campus. There is a metro there. It's the Medical Center Red Line, but as some of you might know, Metro's having some issues, especially in Virginia. So please do plan ahead. And there's always carpool. The parking is available off campus in a parking garage. It is $12 a day, or there's metered parking on campus that does require a car inspection, and space is extremely limited. Now with that car inspection, again, it's a non-tobacco and non-alcohol campus. So if you have it in your car, you will be asked to leave or remove those from your car. So if you have a government issued ID, then I want to get this right. So you can come on campus if it's an HSPD12 card, that's acceptable. If you're at the American Inn or the Residence Inn in Bethesda, you can walk to the campus, it's about a mile, or take private transportation. There is no shuttle that will take you to the NIH campus anymore. Now, signage is everywhere. You should see our signs once you make it past security. They're giant, they're huge, they're outside of rooms, balconies, registration, and of course, lunch. They are very clearly visible and marked. Now we're going to be at the Natcher building, which is building 14. For security purposes, please do not roam the campus. Stay in and around the Natcher building. So I've circled it for you. That red circle is the Natcher building, and you can see the Gateway Center is the security center, and then Metro is right next to it. Now registration and t-shirts. Please, please, please come to registration first. Registration will be past the exhibit hall in front of the Natcher building. Please check in at registration to get your Drupal badge and t-shirt ticket. You only need to check in once for the event, and then you're set for the week. If you are sponsored with a table, your sponsor packet, which includes your lunch tickets, will be on your table in the exhibit hall. But you will need to get your Drupal badge and your t-shirt ticket at registration. If you're a morning speaker or attending trainings, you will be in a separate line. Additionally, you'll find the help desk next to registration. If you have any concerns, you can go to the help desk. T-shirts will be handed out downstairs this year. And again, you need a ticket to get a t-shirt. They are a first come, first served basis. Now, Tuesday is our training day, and again, we require you to come to registration first. You do need a ticket to GovCon to attend training. Check-in. Okay, so sorry, I'm reading off. If you're in an all-day training, lunch will be provided. If you're in a half-day training, even if it's in the AM class and you have a PM class, you must have lunch on your own. However, there is a cafeteria on site. So we do have a dynamic schedule. Any change to the schedule will be updated on the website as soon as possible. We will also post the changes and other pertinent information on our Twitter. Please be patient with us as we move rooms during the day. The fire marshal will shut us down if a room is overflowed. Please check those sources before coming to the help desk. So you can see our handles there. Now, in our exhibit hall, we have our lovely sponsors, and we always encourage you to visit our sponsors for great job opportunities, information, and of course, swag. So many of our sponsors have booths in the exhibit hall, while we have our 3 nonprofits that are downstairs in front of room C. Our keynote sessions and trainings start at 9 a.m., but our keynote is going to be at 11 a.m. all 3 days of the conference. And that is going to be in the auditorium on the first level of the Natcher building. Please be aware that there is no food or drink allowed in the keynote. Sessions will be held in rooms and balconies in the Natcher building. If every seat within the session is filled, then we will move the room as it becomes a fire hazard if people try to stand. At no point during the session are attendees allowed to stand or sit on anything other than a designated chair that was already in the room. So please don't grab chairs from other rooms, bring your own, or try to sit on the floor. The fire marshal, again, will shut us down if we don't comply. If a session is moved because of the number of attendees, that new session location will be updated on the website and then sent out via our Twitter. Also, let me be very clear. These sessions are supposed to relay information about a specific topic, not be a sales presentation. If a presentation turns into a sales pitch, we'd appreciate it if you let the help desk know. We have our lovely BoFs, Birds of a Feather sessions, our fun gatherings to discuss and share interests or identity. Previously, we've had Drupal and nonprofits, hacks, coffee, diversity, and inclusion BoFs. Really, whatever's on your mind can be a BoF. So look for the BoF boards to see, one, what's been offered, and two, what you can offer. We have a dedicated BoF room, Room H. It's available Wednesday starting at noon and all day Thursday to Friday. So look for that BoF board on level 1 outside of Room H. We are doing a code sprint, and hopefully you're interested in a code sprint. Be sure to register by Tuesday, July 23rd. We have 2 major code initiatives, and we'll be working on Drupal GovCon, Hope One Source Platform, and Form API and Web Form. So the first day will be the Code Contribution 101 from 10 to 12 p.m. The afternoon will be spent with Code Contribution, and for the next 2 days, from 9 to 3 p.m., we will be doing that Code Contribution too. People can contribute without signing up, but we do prefer you to sign up so we can be better prepared in Code Contribution. Things can get very, very, very crowded. So please note this event during the breaks and lunches will get crowded, and just plan ahead and be aware of that. Our lunches can have very long lines. So lunch will be served at 12 exactly for all attendees outside of the Natcher building under a giant white tent. There is seating available under the tent in the Natcher cafeteria or in the conference center. No food is permitted in balconies, Room D, or in the auditorium. So if you have a special lunch that you have checked because of a food allergy, your lunch will be available at the help desk / registration desk. Vegan lunches are not special lunches, and those will be with the general lunches. In addition, day 1, if you are halal, your lunch will be with general because that food is already halal. If you're kosher, your meal will be part of the vegan meal because that is also kosher. So those with days of the week printed on their badge are those that have confirmed their attendance and will be allowed to go through the line first. Now, let's say you didn't confirm your lunch. Your options are these. 1, wait until everyone that has confirmed has gone through the line. 2, pack a lunch. 3, use the cafeteria on site. 4, get a lunch ticket by donating a minimum of $10 to Drupal GovCon. We always encourage you to donate. Now, I'm going to yield the floor to Kevin, who's going to tell us about all the cool things that are happening after the conference.
You're on mute. Can you hear me? Tell me you can hear me.
Yep,
okay.
I can hear you.
Yay. So during the 2 days of the conference, Wednesday and Thursday, we have fun activities for everybody in the Bethesda and DC area, trying not to get you too far away. On Wednesday, after all the sessions are over, we have our opening day happy hour at the Brickside Tavern, restaurant, whatever it is. Anyway, we've been going there for years. They know us. They love us. They have wonderful food. It's sponsored by Debug Academy, Civic Actions, and Pantheon. So if you see folks with badges there from those companies, tell them thank you. Bring your GovCon badge for admission. We're going to have drink tickets for wine and beer. And if you would prefer to have soft drinks, if you're the designated driver or just don't want to drink, no tickets needed for soft drinks. So unlimited soft drinks for you. On Thursday, Teodi is that how we pronounce it? I don't know. I've only seen him.
Yes,
has a boat party. There's the boat. You need to get on the GovCon site, look under social events. You'll need to sign up to Eventbrite for this. That is the boat. So as many people as can fit on the boat, that's how many tickets they're going to sell. It leaves from Georgetown, and you're going to need your own transportation. So Uber or Lyft or whatever. I'm not from DC. I don't think there's any metro that goes out there. So if you want to do that, I've heard some people that have gone and said it's just a heck of a lot of fun. So if that's your bag, go. It'll be great. And then also on Thursday, we have game night. And this is something we did a little bit of last year, and this year we've got a sponsor. So Acquia is sponsoring this. It's going to be at the Host Hotel. That's at the Residence Inn. It's 1 block from the Bethesda Metro station, so it's 1 mile from the venue. So if you're on foot after the conference is over for the day, go find some dinner in Bethesda and any of the wonderful areas there, and then head over to the Residence Inn. And again, we'll have drink tickets, we'll have refreshments, we'll have soft drinks. It'll be a lot of fun. It's been kind of ad hoc in previous years, and this year we're going to try to be organized about it. There's going to be over 30 games, and if you have one you want to play, bring it. You can check out the social events page to see the list of games that we already have, and bring your own. The only thing you can't do is games on your phone, because then that wouldn't be social. So everything in between, outside and under. Okay, these are important things you need to know in relation to the event. There's Wi-Fi throughout the Nature Building. You just need to click NIH guest and agree to their terms. There's going to be a lot of people there, so the Wi-Fi is going to be slow or will unexpectedly drop at times. So if you have a hotspot, if you can use your phone as a hotspot or have your own private Wi-Fi, consider bringing that. And if you're not getting our emails, because we're sending a lot of emails, then that's a problem. You need to make sure we're whitelisted. That's Drupal4, the number 4, gov@gmail.com. Make sure we're whitelisted in your email contacts, and make sure that you get all the up-to-date last-minute information. So sponsors make this event possible. I mentioned some of them that are sponsoring the social events. But they make it possible. They are providing a massage chair, there's iced coffee, Lego cups, which are amazing, lots of swag to grab, cupcakes, there's going to be root beer on tap and more. Go visit these folks in the exhibit hall and see what they have to offer. And is this last but not least? A big thank you to Susan Coates, who took awesome pictures of the conference back in 2016. That's what we used here. And we'd love to have more photos. So bring your cameras, look for opportunities, and we'll have a site. You can tag them and post them, and everyone will see them. What else is there, Nina?
That's it, Kim. Thank you so much. We're going to open the floor for some questions we can answer now. Thank you so much, Kevin, for that. So we're going to open the floor. If you have questions, you can post them in the chat, and we will try our best to answer them now.
We're also a small enough group, you should be able to feel free to take yourself off mute if you want to just ask the question verbally. Chat or out loud works. I can answer this last question. So what's the benefit of bringing a government ID? If you have a state-issued driver's license, then there really isn't. I personally have found that my driver's license works just fine, but occasionally people have shown up and they realize they didn't bring their driver's license, or and so therefore their federal ID or the ID for their government e-pass lets them in as long as it's of a certain kind. So nothing extra, unfortunately, for government ID. You still have to go through security like everybody else. Wayne, can you be more specific about what you mean by a kiosk for session changes? Do you mean like a spot where people could just stop by and say, hey, have there been any changes? Is that the thought process there? Because if so, then I would imagine sort of the help desk space, which is really the same area as registration. Once we get through the initial push of getting the majority of folks in the morning, that space is a great space to stop by and just ask about any questions. And the folks up there will know of room changes for sessions as well. So unless you mean something else, I'm thinking our help desk space on the top floor would serve that purpose. Yes, if you were talking, you're on mute. Let me go ahead and let me unmute you. There you go. Go ahead, Wayne.
Thank you. I guess you can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, what you were thinking about was pretty much on par. I was thinking about this based on a session change that I ran into last year as well, and that is instead of thumbing around on our own device, it might actually be faster, maybe more convenient to take a look at a scrolling board that has these changes. And I'm only thinking about it because I've seen it done elsewhere, and it's actually quite nice. So just an idea.
You know, now that you mention it, I think we do have, there are screens that are up outside the auditorium, and we've used those in the past to just have a running presentation of sponsorship information. I'm not sure what the limitations are if there's someone presenting in the actual auditorium, but we might be able to use those monitors to display that type of information as well. So we'll just have to see. We'll have to talk to the on-site folks.
Sure, okay.
Thank you. Any other questions, folks? Dress code. Wear what makes you comfortable. We say it's a casual event, but given the fact that we have, people from the government that attend, there are some people, you will see people walking around in suits and you will see people in shorts and t-shirt. So just wear whatever you're comfortable with. We market it as a casual event, but some people just have to dress fancier. Any other questions, folks? Well, just so you know, we did record this this webinar, and we will be adding it to our playlist on our YouTube channel. So if you've got folks that you know are attending that would have found this information helpful, then we will be sure to then please share that with them. So Otherwise, if there aren't any more questions, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Nina, Kevin, if you guys have anything else to add, please do so. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.
I'll just add, I work for the state of Missouri, so I'm out in the hinterlands. We've been coming for about 6 years to this, and we've got more out of this, out of GovCon than we have out of DrupalCon. It's a great way to meet other people in government with the same problems, and nearly all of us are friendly. So